deal. Thank you so much. All right, let's hand it over to Lawrence. He's down in South Carolina. Hey, Lawrence.
Hi guys, welcome to my run of Symphony Award, the Nephilim Saga. I just recently picked this gem up because it reminded me of Fire Emblem in the old days. I had the pleasure of playing that when it first came out too, so that's pretty good.
And yet, he's still going to give billions of dollars to student loans. Some would say he's buying votes. What do you say, Governor?
He's buying votes. That's exactly what he's doing. The timing of this, to follow through on what he has threatened to do for so long, is incredibly hypocritical of him to say that he cares about this country and continue to accumulate debt and hand out money to get himself reelected. And I just hope everybody in America realizes that we're still spending more money than what we bring in this country. So when he does stuff like this, he's literally borrowing this money from China and then giving it to people so that they will support him and put him back in the White House so he can continue his reign of control. So it's really the worst of the worst. And Americans are waking up to it with all these crises we have going on at the border, our national security, people's gas and groceries being unaffordable. People are struggling right now, and this president just is not even aware of what the reality is on the ground.
You know, Governor, you were the first governor of another state to stand with my own state of Texas on the border. Now he's taking executive action. He broke the border with executive action. Is he going to be able to fix it? Is it too late?
He could fix it. He could fix it today. He could reinstate policies that President Trump had in place, and we'd be in a whole different situation. I have deployed National Guard for the southern border to stand with Texas 5 different times. We have another group that is going to be going down starting in April. It's an engineering unit that will be actually building border. It will be building the infrastructure needed to really stop a lot of these military-aged men that are coming into this country for very nefarious reasons. So it's been effective, and I was proud to see Texas do that, and we're proud to continue to help them because what Joe Biden was doing, and the reason I made this decision for the 5th time, was because he was threatening to take our National Guard under Title 10 and federalize them. That meant the president was so threatened by the fact that states were defending their own states' rights that he wanted to activate our soldiers so he could control them to stand down. I think it'd be the first time in American history we had a president that actually paid soldiers to not protect our country, to stand down and to allow this invasion to continue to go on. So I was there the next day, the day the confrontation was supposed to happen, to make sure that Texas knew that we were going to be there, that we have cartel presence in South Dakota as well. They have infiltrated into the country that far and are moving drugs and trafficking that it impacts my people every day, and we will continue to defend our states' rights to defend ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, Governor, I talked to my friend Karen here, and I asked her, I said, you know, who are you considering for vice president? And she told me, who are you considering for vice president?
Well, the person we want for vice president to help Trump get us ahead is going to be, and she needs to go ahead and declare it right now. Governor Christie Noll, are you going to be our vice president for the United States of America and get behind Donald Trump because you're the woman that can do it?
I'm long. Dun, 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 dun.
Bless her heart.
What do you say, Governor?
I think President Trump needs to pick who he wants and who will help him win. I've told him before that he needs to pick somebody who will help him win, and I'm all in to do what I can to help the team. He needs somebody that actually is not a part of the swamp, I think. He needs a business owner. He needs somebody who's been a commander-in-chief, somebody who makes decisions when things get tough. And those are his qualifications, and he needs to know he can have somebody around him that trusts him and he trusts and will fight. You know, he's got a lot of jobs to do when you're president of the United States. He needs to have people on his team that fight for him every single day. And so when he picks whoever it is, the vice president, I'll support who he picks, and I'm going to make sure that I'm someone who still continues to defend and fight for his policies.
Governor, thank you so much for joining the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's take it to the people. Let's do a show of hands. You got it, Governor. Who wants Tim Scott to be the vice president? Okay, Vivek Ramaswamy, Byron Donalds, Tulsi, Ben Carson, Christy Noll. All right. right, guys, so you can see you got a lot of Christy Nome, a lot of Tim Scott. Who would be open to Nikki Haley being the vice president? I guess there was a no on that. I'll send it back to you, Ainsley.
I want South Carolina. So many of them were out there before we even got there. I know. Give my people my best. Kiss that southern soil. All right, here's a Fox News alert. Cyber guy Kurt Knudsen is back with us as that cellular outage impacts so many people across the country. Plus, is a six-figure salary the new middle class? Jackie DeAngelis is crunching all the numbers for us. That's next. Hey, Jackie. This looks like an actual farm.
Looks cute on the app.
When other vacation rentals aren't what they're cracked up to be. Try one where you know what you'll get.
CIDP disrupts.
CIDP derails.
Let's be honest. CIDP sucks.
But move into CIDP.
It doesn't have to.
When you sign up at shiningthroughcidp.com, you'll find inspiration and real patient stories, helpful tips, reliable information, and more.
CIDP can be tough.
But finding hope
Just got a little easier. Sign up at shiningthroughcidp.com.
Got a good story to it.
be heard, be hopeful, be you.
My frequent heartburn has
I like
taken
it.
antacid after antacid all day long. But with products like OTC, just one pill a day blocks heartburn for a full 24 hours. For one and done heartburn relief, Prilosec OTC, one pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Is there any way to get a better price on this?
Have you checked Single Care? Before I pick up a prescription at the pharmacy, I always check the Single Care price.
It's quick, easy, and totally free to use.
Single Care can literally beat my insurance copay. Go to singlecare.com and start saving today.
Everybody talks about how hard it is to get older. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm telling you it can be easier. I know it seems like this world's getting more and more out of control, so it's all the more important that we take control of our own lives and our own health. What I do is I pray, and then I take balance in nature, because it's so simple. 3 capsules of the fruits and 3 capsules of the veggies, and I'm done for the day. I've been taking it now for 2 years, and I can't tell you the difference it's made in my life. Take control of your health, take control of your life. Start with balance of nature. Give it a shot. You won't be sorry.
Start your journey with Balance Nature supplements. Get 35% off plus $10 off any additional set with your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code BOOM.
Meet Milo. He's part border collie and part party animal. Meet the new Bissell Little Green Hydro Steam Pet. It's part steam-powered steam and part party animal patrol. Bissell, a new breed of clean.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
In time for war. In time for digest.
Every penny I was making was spent on drugs. When I found out about what the United Way could do, I was sitting inside the medical clinic on the phone, talking with someone and saying, I'm gonna lose everything. I got nothing. I might as well be dead. I'm 14 years clean. I never thought that would be possible. The United Way made that possible.
save the world.
This is just the beginning.
The only way to stop her is together.
Higher, further, faster.
Apparently making a six-figure salary is still not enough. A $100,000 income now only considered lower middle class in high-cost cities across the country. It's a new report revealing the 15 major cities where soaring inflation has taken a huge chunk out of your pay stub. Here to react, co-host of the Big Money Show, Jackie DeAngelis. Jackie, when I was in high school, I was thinking, someday if I can make $50,000 a year, I'd do it.
I know, right? And 100,000, a low six-figure salary, that would be amazing. But now we're finding in this study that in these cities, mostly the coastal cities, right, which does make sense, they're more expensive than the heartland of America. At $91,000, you're lower middle class. That's in Arlington, Virginia. San Francisco's number 2, San Jose is number 3. What shocked me, Steve, was that New York City was not on this list. But we can talk about that another day. If you wanted to be regular middle class, you need $152,000 in Arlington. So that gives you a sense of this isn't just about food, shelter, which are huge costs for the American people. It's also about things like transportation, childcare. All of these costs are soaring.
And sure, the insurance, the electricity, the whole ball of wax. Ultimately, though, not only the reason Joe Biden, I think, is in trouble regarding the election when it comes to the economy and inflation is the fact that every time you go and buy groceries, it's a fortune. $100 used to buy 4 bags of groceries. Now it's 2 bags of groceries.
I walk to the grocery store, I buy 4 things, and it's like $50 or $75, and literally I got nothing. So what's happening is people are having to take this extra 20% that they're paying more for groceries, and they're going to have to find it from somewhere else on their budget. If they don't have it in their budget, it's going on a credit card, which is why some of this debt is spiraling out of control the way that it is right now, Steve. But I'll ask you this, when you look at wages, and that's the biggest component of why food prices are up. And I would say to the average person, are your wages up in the last 3 years 20% to keep up with food inflation?
Right.
Most people would say absolutely not. Real wages are down.
I know. This great item in the Wall Street Journal, the headline is, it's been 30 years since food ate up this much of your income.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jackie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Come on, let's go on over here. Make sure you watch her on the Big Money Show, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern on Fox Business. We come over to Lamore Suss's chalet in the kitchen. Lamore, you are great at saving people money, and the number one thing people are concerned about is my food costs so much, so you get some great ideas.
Yeah, we have some great ideas, and a lot of times when you go to the supermarket, you do want to buy fresh fruits and vegetables, less on the packaged stuff, because you're going to be able to get more for your buck. So, convenience comes at a cost, and so what you want to do is you want to actually meal prep either the night before or on Sunday. 10 minutes the night before will save you a ton of money. So instead of paying $17 for a salad at your local salad shop, this maybe with less than a few dollars, you can have a week's worth of yogurt parfaits, you can make your own granola at home, and just meal prepping. It's not only good for your waistline, but also good for your wallet.
I'm going to reveal something. The White House correspondent who used to live in my house now lives down in Virginia. They do meal prep every Sunday to save money.
Yeah, and this way you really are throwing out less food because you know what you're using. And speaking of throwing out food, so how many times do you throw away rotting or
I threw away cilantro yesterday.
cilantro, parsley, basil, right? You use a little bit. Ginger, turmeric are the worst culprits. So this, if you're not familiar, these are to Rose Gardens. They're right from the freezer section. So with a simple pop of the tray, you just get the exact amount that you need and you put it in your freezer. So you just get it right in the freezer section.
A little closer. Take a look at this.
Isn't this cool? So you just put little cubes, like little ice cubes. And this one is ginger, but they have turmeric, they have cilantro, basil, dill. So you can make wellness shots. Over here, I made a DIY at home Chinese takeout. Because even like the Chinese takeout next to my house used to be very inexpensive. Now it's $17 for one dish. So
okay, so talking about groceries, the number one thing that costs a lot is meat. I looked at some steaks, just looked at them, didn't
Nice.
The meat, let me think.
Got a level up, did you?
$5 a pound.
yeah, they're very expensive. And so what you want to do
They'll notice this one for sure.
you want to swap some lentils, beans, peas, chickpeas into your diet. So 1 cup of really great way. Again, and then for chickpeas, the water from the chickpea can, the aquafaba, you can make mayo out of it. You can make scrambled eggs. It really is great.
All right, final tip. Get a rotisserie chicken because look what you can do real fast.
Okay, so dark meat for dinner, then whatever side you want. Take half the chicken breast, you're gonna make fajitas out of it. The other half of the chicken breast, you're gonna make chicken salad. And then with the bones, you're gonna make a soup.
Listen, the Costco rotisserie chicken, this one is $5.
$5.
Can't beat it. All right, Lamore, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Carly, tell us a little bit about Amazon.
Boy, will I, and you're going to want to watch your screen for this one. Wild video shows the moment a train cuts an Amazon delivery truck in two. Dash cam video obtained by TMZ capturing the horrifying 2021 crash in Wisconsin. The train was going around 80 miles per hour when it sliced that truck in half. The driver says he's deaf in his left ear and did not hear the train horn. Incredibly, he
excellent.
Dozens of firefighters in Los Angeles helping rescue a horse trapped inside a backyard sinkhole. Oh my gosh, get that horse out!
He will always find a way.
Animal named Lucky was buried neck deep in soil. Crews put a harness on the horse and lifted it out after a few hours. Responders saying Lucky is in fact lucky to be alive. Those videos are both crazy. Steve, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Carly. All right, Lamore, thank you again. Meanwhile, coming up, Fox News will report the cyber guy on the outage impacting tens of thousands, probably millions. Coming up.
Cops is back on Fox Nation. The only place to watch new episodes. Don't turn around! Defenders of justice. Take down criminal masterminds.
Back from the long family message.
You are going to jail today?
Cops, new episode Friday on Fox Nation and coming soon. Cops Spring Break.
Challenge for spring break.
Now you guys are on, right? America is streaming.
Here's why you should switch from Google to DuckDuckGo on all your devices. DuckDuckGo comes with a built-in search engine like Google, but it's private and doesn't spy on your searches. And DuckDuckGo lets you browse like Chrome, but it blocks cookies and creepy ads that follow you around from Google and other companies. And there's no catch. It's free. We make money from ads, but they don't follow you around. Join the millions of people taking back their privacy by downloading DuckDuckGo on all your devices today.
Struggling with the highs and lows of bipolar 1? Ask about Vraylar. Because you are greater than your bipolar 1. And you can help take control of your symptoms with Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Vraylar treats depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Proven full spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms. And in Vraylar clinical studies, most saw no substantial impact on weight. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults.
Stay strong, everyone.
Muscles or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death,
Here
weight
comes
gain, and high
trouble,
cholesterol.
ready or not.
Movement dysfunction and restlessness are common side effects. Sleepiness and stomach issues are also common. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. Ask about Vraylar and learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Most guys get serious eye bags as they get older. But most guys don't do anything about it. Because most guys don't really
They'll miss
understand
this
skin.
one for sure.
They think it's too expensive and they don't believe that anything actually works. But here's the thing. Most guys are wrong. Because there are actually a few ways to reduce your eye bags, and one of the easiest, Article 601 basically, actually works really well. And most guys actually can afford it. Because it's a 601 formula means you're getting 6 products added to one. Just wash your face and then massage in Article 36. Before you know it, you're looking younger than, well, most guys. But forget about most guys. Just be you. A younger version of you. You can order right now at heartofmen.com. We've got free shipping in the United States, plus 30-day money-back guarantee.
90,000 new chemicals have entered our world over the last 50 years. Only 1% have been tested for safety. Can you feel it?
With every breath, modern living is breaking down your barriers, weakening your defense against threats from your everyday environment. But
I'm
nature
just
holds a
getting
solution. Armor Colostra. Armor that combines your body's ability to strengthen its barriers. Cell by cell, unleash transformation for your body. For life as it should be.
Somebody would ask for something and she would just walk right past them. She didn't know they were talking to her.
I just could not hear. I was hesitant to get the hearing aids because of my short hair, but nobody even sees them. Our newly invisible hearing aids are just one reason we've been grounded for over 75 years. When I finally could hear for the first time, I could hear everything. Enjoy sweet offers during our limited time Love Your Hearing event. Call 1-800-MIRACLE now.
Always been active my whole life. Mental toughness was no match for, nickel bacon donut. Donuts were my kryptonite. GLP-1 through row have stopped my cravings completely. Being able to dive, being able to go to kids and not feel winded is amazing. GLP-1 for like a military mindset and a shot.
Meet the weekly shop at RCBT. Connect with a provider at Blue.com.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Welcome back. It is 8 a.m. on the East Coast. Thursday, February 22nd, year of our Lord 2024, and this is Fox News. A major cellular outage impacting tens of thousands of Americans right now. Kurt the Cyber Guy. That's right, he's going to tell you how you can use your Wi-Fi in your house to make phone calls. Plus, President Biden considers executive action on the border after constantly saying he couldn't do it. Governor, no, I'm not buying it. Watch.
He could fix it. He could fix it today. He could reinstate the policies that President Trump had in place, and we'd be in a whole different situation.
And just 2 days until the GOP South Carolina primary, Lawrence is having breakfast with all of our friends there in the Myrtle Beach area. He's in Surfside Beach. Look at all of those wonderful South Carolinians. The final hour of Lawrence Fox and Friends starts right now. And remember, mornings are better with friends.
Yep. All right, Fox News Alert, our lead story. If you were waking up this morning and having trouble with your cell phone, what's going on? You're not alone. There is a major cellular outage being reported nationwide. It's not your phone, it's the network. It's not you, it's them. As of now, it appears AT&T users are the hardest hit, with website downdetector.com reporting more than 62,000 outages. Those are people reporting their outages across the U.S.
Many are wondering if they paid their phone bill, right?
True.
Okay, Kurt the Cyber Guy joins us now. Kurt, how is this going to affect us? Will it affect hospitals, flights? How will it affect first responders?
I mean, imagine this, and good morning, Ainsley, Steve, Pete. You call 911 and you can't get through. Well, that is a huge, huge problem. All kinds of infrastructure in our country rely upon cellular communication. We know the biggest hit so far this morning, AT&T. We're also getting reports from those who have Verizon and T-Mobile, as well as many carriers that rely on their backbone. So, what do? When you wake up this morning, your phone's not working. Here is the trick you want to do. If you've got an iPhone, simply grab your phone, hit settings, go to cellular, and then tap Wi-Fi calling. And on that, you're going to turn on the little switch, and it's going to use the wireless network where you are, like the Wi-Fi network at your home, or if you're at work, the Wi-Fi network there. If you've got a connection to the Wi-Fi network, you can make calls as if you were on the cellular network, and it operates just as it would if you had cellular service working. This is a great workaround. It's something you should have anyway, whether we've had an outage like this or not. We also just posted online a feature, whether you've got an Android or Samsung, how to handle that and turn that Wi-Fi calling on. We also can tell you that just minutes ago made touch with the AT&T Network Operating Center, and we're getting information from them yet. Don't have anything for you just yet. but we're at least in touch, and they are working the story with us and hopefully providing us with the cause of this, what the status of the network is across the country, because what we can tell you is when we look at that down detector map of where people are reporting this, it is widespread. It starts up and down the East Coast. It hits Houston. It hits Nashville. You can see hot spots all around the country, and that includes other networks. And I know Abe had said last hour that a Verizon spokesperson was on Fox Business saying, hey, our network's fine. I'm not so sure about that. So I think you just got to have the tools to recover at this moment yourself.
And I love the fact that you showed people with Apple phones what they can do.
He always dies this one.
Cyberguide.com, your website. And for the folks who've got an Android phone, you go into settings, you tap calls, and then tap Wi-Fi calling. You can find it at cyberguide.com. But Kurt, if according to downdetector.com, there's like 60 or 70,000, something like that, those are only people who have complained to that website. It's probably much bigger than that, because before this morning, I'd never heard of that website, and I'm sure I'm not alone.
Well, for example, I have a number of contacts at AT&T, and I have their mobile numbers. Not one of them even rang. They just went straight to voicemail. So what is that telling you? I mean, this is a widespread issue across the country. And here's what we also know is, when this happens, when there's a network outage, and we don't know the cause, and I know there's a lot of speculation, but they are designed, they have a recovery plan. It may take time, but they can restart these networks if there's no physical damage. And I would imagine there's a lot of people with sweat on their brows getting that done as quickly as possible.
Kurt, you mentioned Verizon, where it's unclear if it's just calls from Verizon that are going to AT&T. Certainly, we know AT&T is at the center of this. Well, T-Mobile just put out a statement as well, and they said, we did not experience an outage. Our network is operating normally. Down detector is likely reflecting challenges our customers were having attempting to connect to users on other networks. So, Kurt, it sounds a lot like what Verizon said, which is when our people try to talk to AT&T, they can't do it. So is your sense that this is an AT&T thing still?
I mean, if we get information like that, it tells us that that's a leading cause. I also think that a wireless network is connected to a bunch of wireless networks. So at some point, we figure out when one is working to connect to the other, we start to get drilled down to the cause. We're gonna get that information. We don't know it yet, but the best solution, whether you have any of these services, is to have that ability to turn on Wi-Fi calling. God forbid you gotta call 911. They have that tool ready to go.
Right, and to figure out how to do that, go to Kurt's website. It's cyberguide.com. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of clicks because people want to know how to do it. Kurt, thank you very much for being here early.
Lots of people are busy in the morning. They're getting their kids off to school, packing lunches, trying to get to work. They might not have time to go to these websites to complain yet. They're just hoping, like all of us did this morning, it'll be fixed at some point quickly today.
Find out soon how many people are affected. Well, today's outage day. Saturday is voting day. It's going to be the primary on the Republican side down in South Carolina, and that's why Lawrence is at the Golden Egg having breakfast with friends. Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, good morning, family. Obviously, there's a big race here in South Carolina. Folks are here at 3:30 a.m. because they wanted their voices to be heard. As you know, the former governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley, is going against Donald Trump in the Republican primary. Real quickly, guys, how many undecided voters are there here? Who's an undecided voter? Raise your hand. Okay. Who's going to vote for Nikki Haley? Right here, right here. And who's going to vote for Donald Trump? So if you look at the crowd, guys, there was about 8 people. There were undecided voters. You had about 4 people that were supporting Nikki Haley. And then, obviously, South Carolina is Trump country, guys.
All right.
Yeah, he's ahead by a lot.
But the polls reflect, for sure.
More than 30 points.
Lawrence, thank you very much. Golden Egg in South Carolina. I walked into diners at 6 a.m. and seeing 2 people.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, there's hundreds there. South Carolina's a liberty.
They really did. Y'all made us very proud. And I'm from South Carolina, Lawrence. It was
excellent.
He's at the Golden Egg if you want to go. We have about another 15 minutes of the show. Golden Egg
outside.
in Surfside Beach. And then we'll be at Elizabeth
Rank S. Excellent.
in Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday for your show.
There we go. Yeah. All right. reports. Well done. All right, meanwhile, Joe Biden now taking a page out of the Trump playbook. He's considering executive action to rein in the illegal crisis.
This, as the White House plots its next move, thousands of migrants who may pose a national security risk are easily making their way to the United States.
Great.
Show me that.
Great. Well, Hillary Vaughn is live with all the latest. What you and your family need to know. Hey, Hillary.
Hey, good morning. Well, it turns out the president's hands are not tied, as sources tell Fox the White House is considering taking measures to fix this border crisis using executive action to bar people from getting to claim asylum if they cross the border illegally. Instead, they would have to go to a port of entry to claim asylum. That's a 180 from what the president has insisted throughout this crisis when he said there's nothing more he can do. The pressure is on the president to do anything as Americans are seeing people from all over the world waltz over the border into the U.S. Just this fiscal year in San Diego, CBP has seen hundreds from Afghanistan, Russia, Uzbekistan, Vietnam. Still, officially, the White House is downplaying this executive order talk, saying no matter what they do, it still won't be enough. Quote, no executive action, no matter how aggressive, can deliver the significant policy reforms and additional resources Congress can provide and that Republicans rejected. But progressives are outraged at the idea of Biden cutting off asylum to people who don't come the right way. Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez saying, doing Trump impressions isn't how we beat Trump. Seeking asylum is a legal right of all people. The mere suggestion is outrageous, and the president should refuse to sign it. Another policy reportedly under consideration by the president is to deport people who do not have a legitimate claim to asylum faster. The idea, these two things combined, means fewer people are getting to come over, fewer people are staying here longer, which of course would cut down the cost of taking care of all these people while they wait for their asylum claims to be heard. Back to you guys.
Now, Hillary, a moment ago when we were talking about saving money, I mentioned that our White House correspondent does meal prep on Sunday. You actually do all the cooking now, right?
Yeah, I'm the chef behind the meal prep, Steve.
He just screws some lids on the mason jar.
I've always been fascinated. How do you do that? I know it saves money, they say, to do this, but isn't that stressful to plan out your whole week?
We've been doing salads in mason jars, Ainsley. It's amazing. You put the dressing on the bottom, you stack everything up, you put the lettuce on the top so it doesn't get soggy. When you dump it out onto a plate, it's perfectly plated. The dressing's on top, nothing is soggy.
So you do it on Sunday and it'll be good for Thursday?
Yeah, Sunday to Thursday. That's it. And then Friday we go out.
I got a feeling she's got one of them today.
Yeah.
In her backpack. All right, Hillary, thank you very much. Impressive. All right. Excellent plan. So she was talking about, it sounds like the president is going to unveil something, could be at the State of the Union address. Apparently, and knowing how this White House works, always blaming Republicans. If he takes one of the provisions, probably beat by Donald Trump. It sounds like the same thing he used, Donald Trump used back in the day to restrict entry from people in certain Muslim countries. Might use that sort of policy. But knowing the Biden White House, what they might do is roll this out State of the Union night, because they are talking about the reset, and then just say, we tried to get this through Congress, but the Republicans are obstructing us, and they would not let us do it. If I had to guess, just a prediction.
Lawrence, what are you hearing from the South Carolinians there about the border? Is that their number one issue?
Well, it's a number one issue, and if you talk to the people on the ground, they say that the border bill that the Senate had was just the president's way out. They want him to do his constitutional duty, which is secure the border. And it really points to the point that Chrissy Nome made earlier in the program, that because the president has failed to do his job, which is a federal issue, the states are having to step up. This is what she had to say. Let's watch.
The president was so threatened by the fact that states were defending their own states' rights that he wanted to activate our soldiers so he could control them to stand down. I think it'd be the first time in American history we had a president that actually paid soldiers to not protect our country, to stand down and to allow this invasion to continue to go on. So I was there the next day, the day the confrontation was supposed to happen, to make sure that Texas knew that we were going to be there, that we have cartel presence in South Dakota as well. They have infiltrated into the country that far and are moving drugs and trafficking that it impacts my people every day, and we'll continue to defend our states' rights to defend ourselves.
Yeah, Lawrence, this is an idea that can only emanate from Washington. We're going to reset the 80-year-old by doing one small thing on an issue they've ignored for 3.5 years and hope voters blame the other guy. We'll see how that goes.
All right.
Well, he would have to concede and say that he broke the issue.
Exactly.
He would have to concede and say he broke the border. You know, so let's see how it plays out.
He did. We don't need a bill. He broke the border the first day in office. Trump had all these policies. He signed executive orders to make sure that his policies were different. And look at the state of our country now. Let's move on to this. A Fox News alert. 2 of America's top adversaries are deepening their military cooperation. A new report says Iran has sent Russia hundreds of ballistic missiles.
Meanwhile, the United States is calling on Vladimir Putin, the guy who runs Russia, to release several elections, including that ballerina picture right there with dual U.S.-Russian citizenship.
Lucas Tomlinson is live in Washington with more. Hey, Lucas. Well, good morning, guys. Russian President Vladimir Putin has added another American pawn in potential trade peace to his prisoners, this time a 33-year-old former ballerina from L.A. who had traveled to Russia to visit her family after her boyfriend warned her, don't do it.
What it seems to me, that was like, is it a good thing to go? She was like so calm, and she was like, yes, like, I'm Russian, I'm going home, like, I'm fine, but do you think eventually there's going to be some kind of prisoner swap for her? It makes me believe that
Now, over the weekend, Ukrainian troops were forced to retreat from the eastern city of Avdiivka, once home to 30,000 Ukrainians. It was Russia's first win on the battlefield in months. Russian jets pounded the city, dropping 600 bombs in a 12-mile radius over the past month. In his exclusive interview from the front lines with Ukraine's president, our own Brett Baer asked Zelensky.
we have to be more quick. That means to lose all the bureaucracy what we have. Otherwise, we will not have any chance. So to be smart, technology, more technologically, and of course, it's not money, it's people lives.
We've seen Russia on the move. Does that mean that we're seeing the tide turn, that war change?
It's not non-debate.
Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo appeared on the program in the past hour.
Would you pay $1 billion to get each of our folks out of Iran? I'm thankful they're home to their families, but you have now set a market price for taking American hostages. You have to demonstrate America got all of its tools, and those are the things. I'm glad the ambassador met with them. You should talk, and we should meet with these wrongfully detained persons. But the only thing that Vladimir Putin understands is power, and this administration simply refuses to use it.
Saturday marks the 2-year anniversary of Russian President Vladimir Putin launching his full-scale invasion in Ukraine. Washington Post columnist David Ignatius is calling on the president to fast-track and send immediately longer-range tactical ballistic missiles to the battlefield. He says Congress doesn't have to enact legislation to do it. Guys?
All right, Lucas, thank you very much. Meanwhile, our top story is the outage with cell phones. And Carly, this is not, hypothetical. Your phone was working, and now it's not working.
That's the thing. Anecdotal evidence here, but of course, my phone just went down weeks ago. It feels like this could be growing. And we have an update because AT&T just released the details first. So here with this Fox News alert, this major cellular outage this morning has impacted tens of thousands across the U.S. As of 7:50, over 66,000 people are experiencing outages. Like I just said, we just got that statement from AT&T saying, quote, some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. We are working.
We should probably save it.
We encourage the
Yeah.
use of Wi-Fi calling until service is restored. A current map on downdetector.com shows this is impacting folks in multiple parts of the country, hitting states like Texas and Georgia. All
right, guys. I'll see you next episode. Peace out. See.
Tried to call someone on AT&T. Still no word on what caused the outage. To a